Hello and welcome to That Was Golf, your weekly golfing review podcast. My name is Calum MacVicar. Thank you very much for joining us as we take a look back at last week's golfing results. We start this week on the Korn Ferry Tour, where it was the Bahamas Golf Classic held at Ocean Club on Paradise Island in the Bahamas. Winning here was Taylor Dickson. Earning his third career Korn Ferry Tour title in his 100th start, Taylor Dickson ended the tournament on a score of 27 under par, scoring 21 birdies, 3 eagles and no bogeys at all to his name, a completely flawless scoring victory. His score of 261 was Taylor's best 72-hole score of his career, and breaks the previous 72-hole tournament record of 262 at the Bahamas Golf Classic. It also makes Dickson only the second player in Korn Ferry Tour history to win an event without making a single bogey. We next head to the Latin America Amateur Championship, which was held at Lima Golf Club in Lima, Peru. Winning here was Matteo Pulcini. 25-year-old Argentinian Matteo Pulcini secured the Latin America Amateur Championship this weekend, and in doing so became the oldest winner of the tournament in its 11-year history. Ranked 174th in the World Amateur Rankings, Pulcini beat Paz Valdez of Venezuela in a 2-hole playoff after both players finished the tournament on 5 under par. For his efforts, Matteo Pulcini will gain entries into the Masters, the Open and the US Open in 2026, while Paz Valdez will gain exemption into final qualifying for the Open, the US Open and the US Amateur Championship, as well as an exemption into the Amateur Championship. Next to the DP World Tour, where it was the Dubai Invitational held at Dubai Creek Resort in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Winning here was Nacho Elvira. A hectic final round in Dubai saw many players come close to claiming the first DP World Tour title of 2026, with Nacho Elvira, Rory McIlroy, Shane Lowry, Daniel Hillier and Marcus Armitage all tied for the lead heading into the back nine. Spaniard Elvira would eventually come out on top though, keeping his cool down the stretch, making a crucial birdie on 17, which saw him jump to a score of 10 under for the tournament, a score he would maintain and claim a one-shot lead over Daniel Hillier, whose final round of 65 6 under had given him an early clubhouse lead for the others to chase. Closest in contention amongst the other chasing players was Shane Lowry, who sat level with Elvira on the 18th at 10 under, until an errant bunker shot found the water and the Irishman ended his round with a double bogey to fall to 2 back at 8 under par. Final top 10 in Dubai was first place on 10 under, Nacho Elvira. Solo second on 9 under, Daniel Hillier. Tied third on 8 under was Julien Gourier, Shane Lowry, Rory McIlroy and David Puig. Tied 7th on 6 under was Marcus Armitage, Torbjørn Olesen and Matt Wallace. And tied 10th on 5 under was Dylan Fratelli, Thurston Lawrence and Antoine Rosner. We next head to the PGA Tour of Australasia, where this week it was the Victoria Open at 13th Beach Golf Links in Barwon Heads, Victoria, Australia. Winning here was Cameron John. The Vic Open was another tournament that saw some final day drama this weekend, leading to a reversal of fates for the 2 players at the top of the leaderboard after 72 holes, with Cameron John and Nathan Barbieri both finishing on scores of 8 under, leading to a playoff. Barbieri, who had led in rounds 2 and 3, let go of a 5-shot lead over John, making a final round 4 over par 76, to drop back to tied first with Cameron John, whose final round 1 under par was enough to get him in contention for a victory. Momentum stayed with John throughout the playoff, with the Victoria native claiming his 3rd title and 2nd of the 25-26 season on the PGA Tour of Australasia. Staying in Australia with the Women's PGA Tour of Australasia, it was also the Victoria Open, held at 13 Beach Golf Links in Barwon Heads, Victoria, Australia. Winning on the women's event was Lydia Hall. Much like the men's event, the Women's Vic Open also had its fair share of ups and downs in the final round. Lydia Hall entered the final round on even par, with 3 players chasing her down on 3 over. Hall was well out in front across the first 8 holes, but bogeys on the 9th and 11th moved Hall to +1, with Kelsey Bennett chasing her down after making birdies on the same 2 holes to tie Hall's score. However, Bennett's charge would be short-lived. After making a bogey on 14 and a double bogey on 16, she dropped to 4 over, whilst Hall's calmness in the blustery Victorian wind saw her make 6 successive pars and a birdie on 18 to finish on even par for the tournament, with a 4-shot lead over Bennett and Catherine Norris in second place. Next over to the TGL, where it was Game 4 between Jupiter Links and New York Golf Club, held at the SoFi Center in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, USA. Winning here was New York Golf Club. With Tiger Woods still recovering from surgery from last year, Jupiter Links' newest addition, Akshay Bhatia, slotted into the team with Kevin Kisner and Max Homa very well over the opening 4 holes of triples, leading New York 3 points to 1. However, their blistering early form would prove to be short-lived, as New York would go on to win 8 points from the next 11 holes of play, winning the match 8-3. Matt Fitzpatrick impressed most for New York with 3 wins and 1 loss across his last 4 singles matches. Fitzpatrick's confidence was most apparent across some of the more difficult simulated holes, with his wide use of shot shaping making for impressive lines off the tee. Up next for Jupiter Links, it's Los Angeles Golf Club on the 20th of January, and New York's next matchup is against the Bay on February 25th. And lastly this week we head to the PGA Tour, where it was the Sony Open, held at Waialae Country Club in Honolulu, Hawaii, USA. Winning here was Chris Gotterup. Making it 3 successive seasons with a win, Chris Gotterup claimed his 3rd title on the PGA Tour, moving up to 17th in the official World Golf Rankings, a jump of 178 places from 195th, which is how he placed this time last year. Another player moving up the OWGR leaderboard was 2nd placer Ryan Gerard. His solo 2nd finish in Honolulu moved him up to 30th in the world, continuing his recent purple patch of form, which has seen him gain a Masters invite after moving into the top 50 in the world with his runner-up finish in Mauritius on the DP World Tour last month. Final top 10 in Hawaii was 1st place on 16 under, Chris Gotterup, solo 2nd on 14 under, Ryan Gerard, solo 3rd on 13 under, Patrick Rogers, tied 4th on 12 under was Robert McIntyre and Jacob Bridgerman, and tied 6th on 11 under was Daniel Berger, Taylor Pendrith, Lee Hodges, Davis Riley, and Harry Hall. And for another week, that was golf. Thank you so much for listening into this episode. Wherever you get your podcasts from, be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all future episodes, released every Tuesday, 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.